Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to talk about XLDB provided by the Xooa platform. XLDB is the easiest and most direct way to put blockchain to use. It allows developers and business users alike to utilize blockchain like a regular database without needing to understand or deploy smart contracts. XLDB consists of two databases, a mutable document data store known as state database or world state, and an immutable database called the transaction database, or simply the ledger. The ledger is append only and is cryptographically protected against modifications using blockchain technology. I will now open the Xooa console to give you an overview of the XLDB. This is the Xooa console with the various available smart contracts. Scrolling down, we have the various available integrations that you can use on the XLDB. In this session, we will of course be focusing on the XLDB, so let's select the XLDB card. If it's your first time creating an XLDB, then an XLDB will create it for you, and you can write data immediately to it once it's created. You can access your XLDB using the Xooa console, the API gateways, or one of the integrations like DocuSign or Zapier. I'll now run through a demonstration of how to write data through the interactive UI. Here we have the world state. It is the mutable database that allows you to search the state database based on key or value. You can create a new transaction by selecting the add button, and whatever you add will be reflected in the world state. Let's now see what this looks like. I'll put in a key and value, then select save. As you can see, the data has been saved and a unique transaction ID has been generated. Scrolling down, we can see the details of the key value pair that was just created. Because the world state is mutable, you can modify the value entered before. As you can see, the value has been updated. From this page, you can also check the history of the values of the associated key. For that, I'll check on history. We're now on the transactions tab where we can find the present and past values associated with the XLDB demo key. From this tab, you can browse the history of transactions and search and filter the transactions by key, value, transaction ID, and date range. You can also export all of your data into a CSV file using the export button. In the world state, you can also add a complex JSON. Click on Use Sample and select Save. As you can see, the data has been saved, and this is the complex JSON here. You can also delete the values by clicking on Delete. The value has been deleted from the world state. We can see the proof of this in the Transactions tab. Here we can see that the key XLDB demo is still there, but the value is not. From the API tab, you can access the available API endpoints. We simply need to paste our API token in the proper field. Then we'll have access to the endpoints at the bottom of the page. The API Explorer page is also an option for utilizing the endpoints. You can click on Explore APIs to access this page. Before using the endpoints, let's create an identity. First, from the Identities tab, click the Add New button and input the requested details. We'll give this identity read and write permissions and allow them to manage identities. Select Create. The API token has been generated, so I'll copy it and return to the API tab. I'll paste the API token in the proper field and click on Authorize API. Here you can see that this identity has now been authorized to use these XLDB API endpoints. I'll demonstrate how to use an endpoint using the create endpoint. This endpoint is used to add a key value pair to the XLDB world state database. Click on Try It Out. I've changed the key to create a new key value pair. Now click on Execute. And we've received a 200 response, so this was a successful action. There is a new transaction ID and a new key value pair with an accompanying JSON. This is how you can use the endpoints to play around with data on the interactive UI. You can also use the Explorer page. To do this, first click on Explore APIs. You'll need to paste your API token in the field in the upper left-hand corner to access the API endpoints. Here is the create/update endpoint. If the key does not exist for this endpoint, we can add a new key or update the previously generated key value. Select Try It, and this is the response. The next option is Update, which will update a key with a new value in the state database and will append a transaction to the transaction database. Select Try, and here's the response, which is 200. Next option is Patch. This call will patch a key with a new value in the state database and will append a transaction to the transaction database. Select Try, and here's the result. Next, we have the get call. This will fetch the keys of a single key or multiple keys. Next, we have the history. This endpoint will fetch the history of changes to the requested key, including deletions. Now we have the query. This endpoint is used to fetch key value pairs that match a certain criteria. Select Try. For this key, you'll see the value, cost, make, owner, etc., 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 which was information requested to be fetched. Finally, we have delete. With this, we can delete a key. Here you can see that the key has been deleted successfully. To learn more details about the XLDB, simply go to the XLDB card on the Xooa console and click on About. You'll now find yourself at the Xooa docs. And with that, you've now seen all the functions at your disposal on the XLDB and with its Xooa API endpoints. Have a fantastic day.